Hi, I'm Phoebe and I'm with Pencil Work, and today we're at the Christian Creative Summit, and I'm with Tumi, who's an author and a blogger. And we're just going to talk today a bit about her experience of writing and creating and how she finds like the intersection between Christianity and creating. So my first question to you would be, what really inspired you to start creating?
Well, it was with the book. I wrote a book called What They Don't Tell You About Being Single, and I knew that after I wrote the book that I wanted to connect with my readers and with the audience of my readers, so like younger women in that sense. So I knew that I was going to have to put myself out there, and I just didn't want to be like an author. I wanted people to get to know me and my journey, which would then bring Christ into it and actually show his transformative work in that.
Okay, so kind of pushing on from your book, did you find yourself feeling really vulnerable as you were writing?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. I remember, so I had the book and I had the ebook, which was on Amazon, and I remember I was washing the dishes and literally I just had all of these thoughts, which I knew was from the enemy, saying that you're going to release this ebook, people are now going to buy it, they're going to screenshot it. Then they'll be sending it to their friends. Wow, look at what she's doing now. Wow, look at her. Da, 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 da. Are you sure? Like, and it was that kind of, and I think as Christians, we've all been there, like, this is where I am now, but that's not who I was before. And people who've known you from before, and they see you in your now, it can be hard for them to marry. And it's almost like they're going to laugh at me. They're going to question this. And at one point, I was like, I want to cancel it. Let's pull the whole plug. And then I went to church that morning, and the sermon was like, you should expect attacks from the enemy, but we push on anyway. I was like, wow, okay, Jesus, I hear you. So definitely it was very vulnerable, but you know, if you've exposed yourself, the enemy can't shame you twice.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if I've written about it, then what are you gonna say? Like, I know, I wrote it, I was there, I did it. Thank God for grace, we move on. So definitely very vulnerable, but we made it through.
So like kind of also pushing on from that, did you feel like you found your strength in Christianity to help you write the book?
Oh my, yeah, that's the only way, because the topics that I write about, I talk about sex in one of the chapters, and sexual purity. There was no way that I could write about that journey, and in that area specifically I felt very condemned. I would show myself a lot about falling in that particular area. So yeah, no Christ, no story.
Yeah, so a lot of your experiences that you talk about in your book, were some of them from university?
Yep, from university, and then right after university. So literally it's like the decade of my 20s.
The 20s, very...
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotion, a whole roller coaster of emotion, of growth. You know, you think you know yourself, and then a new situation comes up. But then not only that, when you understand more about what Christ has done for you, you start to realize that why am I allowing these situations to take over? And not only that, why do I desire these things that he doesn't desire for me? What is that? There's a conflict there. And for a long time I was very conflicted. And I think a few of us probably understand, like, kind of hope that we can get the best of both worlds. Be Christian, but kind of have
fun, go out.
And it's just, for me anyway, it didn't work. Because I didn't get the full fruit of being in the world, because I felt so bad doing it, and then I wasn't getting the full benefits of Christianity because so then I was just very lukewarm, and I wasn't getting heat from either. It was very like instant, like, so great here, but then afterwards, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Oh my gosh, like, what's wrong with you? And then I can't go to church because I'm so bad. So it was just that always back and forth, that double living. And I was over it, especially at uni, double living, like, uni, living your best life, then come home, like, Easter, oh my gosh, Jesus, what you did on the cross, I'm gonna, then come home, then come back to uni, then 2 weeks, I'm not going out, I'm not doing anything. And then like, do you know what, I'm bored, let's go out. Because you haven't been out, you just go wild.
Okay, a lot of people will be able to relate to that. So also kind of circling back to creativity, what kind of helps you go through navigate your creative process? Like, how do you navigate that?
The Holy Spirit, like, even just yesterday, he's already given me a post. I was like, oh, thank you.
And
he just gives me little like snippets, like, oh, thanks, and I just note it down. I have a WhatsApp group for myself, and I just note things down, like, yeah, that's good. So little like quotes and stuff, captions, like, he literally just helps me with that, and I don't try and force anything. So sometimes when I'm really trying to force something, then I'm like, okay, maybe you don't need to post, or you want to post just for fun. If you want to post, just post, but don't make it deep. just so you want to post for the likes, and that's it. You know, but if you actually have a message, and hey, post with your message, save your chest and leave it. But if you just felt cute, might not delete, then that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
So also kind of speaking on that, how do you find it being a Christian in your industry, especially such a creative and like industry where there's so many books talking about relationships, but more in a secular perspective? How did you find it even?
It's tough because the other people on my platform that are talking about similar things, but they may not mention Christ, and they seem to get way more following or maybe more attendees at the events, and think, oh, maybe if I just didn't talk about Christ so much, but he's in the background, then maybe that would be fine. And people have their own different strategies on what they feel they've been called to. With me, I know that I've thought about it, but I don't think that's my channel per se. So I think just being comfortable in where he's called me, and that's why it's so dangerous when we compare ourselves, because you're comparing yourself with someone's content, which is just this much of everything that's going on with them, and then you're comparing your whole journey with that one thing. So I see people like, okay, that's great for them, okay, but that's not for you, and being okay that that's not for me, as opposed to trying to, I can be a bit of them, I can do a bit of this and a bit of that, and then it's hard because then you know that you are pretending and you're putting on an act. So yeah, definitely try not to compare is the best thing.
That's really profound, because obviously you speaking about your uni experience as well, and being kind of conflicted into that. Yeah. It also kind of manifested when you came into this interest.
Absolutely, and I think comparison follows us everywhere. We always, you always have to make a choice to compare. And don't get me wrong, sometimes comparing is good. Like, how come we're both here and they got here and I didn't? Okay, what can I learn from them? But when we use that to almost jab our own selves to say, oh, well, this is why I'll never be successful because they have this and I don't have this, then it's gone too far.
So do you ever have like writer's block, or when the creativity is just not flowing, and how do you kind of solve that?
I'd probably stop posting is what I need to do when that happens.
And you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, like there have been times I've had like pictures and like, I really want to post, and then nothing's there. So I'm like, so you have to make a decision, like post because you want to post, or you wait and stuff. When it comes to writer's block, the first book I wrote was great. I didn't have any of that. I just went for it. Now I've tried to and found it really difficult. Like, this is not as easy. And I'm giving myself, it's okay. When I have something to say, then I'll finish saying it. But I just write what I can, and then if it stops, it stops.
Okay. So we have to unfortunately wrap it up there.
Awesome.
But can you also shout people out so they can know where to find you?
Yes, so first of all, I just want to shout out Pensa, because Warwick, you've done such an awesome job. I was not doing this if I was at uni, I was playing games. You guys are really, really like bringing up the level field, and I honestly pray for the whole team because this is brilliant. But to find me, I'm on Instagram at Knowing Better, Doing Better, and all of my details are on there. I'm rarely on Twitter, but Instagram is where to find me, or my website, which is www.tumininu.com.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've got a great quote for this. Hold out your hand like this, okay? See my phone in this hand, okay? If what you have in your hand is not what you need, it can't be the harvest, it must be the seed.
Ooh, yes.
Tweet that one.